There we go. I hit the mic. That's why. Stop going away. Stay. Yes, hello everybody. Can you hear me now? You're all about 30 seconds behind me. Okay. See louder. That's plugged in. Jeez. Explosion? Okay. Oh wow, that's weird. Okay, I don't know why it's doing. I fixed this 2 days ago. OBS again. Audio output. Oops. Microphone, microphone. Oh man. I had this working too. I wonder if it's the way I had my headphones plugged in. What if I change it like that? Audio. Is that coming out? No, nothing's coming out of that. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know why it's that quiet. Oh, this is going so smoothly. The mic should be. Why is the mic not as loud as it should be? That's a real question. Microphone, light? It's really quiet. Ah! Why is this doing this to me now? So I turn off the mic and try again. Okay, let's see. I'm still really quiet on this. Why is that? Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay, so... Why are you doing this? Yeah, it's all the way up. Okay, so let's see. Desktop audio, that's high. Audio output is really high. Inputs at full. Why is this doing this to me? This mic is on as it should be. This is bizarre. Maybe the battery's dead? Yeah, probably not. If I unplug that, it's low. Okay, so that's still that. I wonder if the batteries died on these. Again, see what happens. Okay, you're in. Oh, I don't care about that. I hear myself on this. That's way too cold. This is embarrassing. Why is this not working? And yeah, it's in all the way. Let me see. My mic is really quiet. If I start shouting, that'll pick it up then. I wonder if it's my audio. I think it, silent, but birds and mumbling. Okay. So it should be... Okay, how about, but you're gonna hear it now. I'm like 20 seconds ahead of all of you. Change the audio. This is highly embarrassing. So, desktop audio, and it's Mick. Mick is stunningly quiet. You're on, plugged in. Should be fine, but it's not because... I'm gonna try something. Where is this? Where did I put these? Oh, crap. Well, I'm just gonna unplug my headphones. Everything's fine. Up. Yes. Why am I not speaking when I need to hear? Doing this to me. The battery. I tried that already. Why is it so quiet? Why are you too quiet? What the heck? Oh, this is annoying. Oh, it does. I changed it to default. I changed it to default. cables. Oh. There we go. Let's see if that works. Okie dokie. Let's see if that works. Okie dokie. So that's really showing up now. I think I fixed it. Oh, that's okay. That's too bad. That's bad. Let's try it one more. Nope. I'll just turn it down a little. Bit much. There we go. No, it's too loud. No. Okay. Yes. Let's watch me suck at Kerbal Space Program now. Oh, gosh. Oh. I'll fix this for next time. Oh, stop doing that. Okay. Any new videos? I just filmed half of a video today. So I just filmed half a video today. Okay, so let's make an SSTO. Okay. I'm sorry if I don't talk much. I'm just like, even though shuttle type vehicles are no longer much really in use, these still have military applications. Well, you can still have civilian applications for shuttle type missions. You can still build like Dream Chasers coming around. I'm not sure if that's what you meant. Or shuttle derived vehicles. Those are great for super heavy lift. Payload fairing. I built this one accidentally a few weeks ago, so this is what we're gonna build. Here we go. Oh, that's the scout payload fairing. Oh, and the mission, I don't know, just we're gonna see if we can build an SST. We're building SSTOs, plural, because I've built them accidentally. And okay, with this, oh, a little bit bigger. I gotta build these with accuracy. Oh God, 752. Oh God, that might be okay. I'm not that good at Kerbal Space Program. Okay. Oh. No, the video actually has nothing much to do with Elon Musk. It's more one of his ardent defenders saying some really dumb things. There we go. Oh, I don't care about size. Size does not matter. Let's build our little CubeSat payload. That's cute. Give it some solar panel. Oh, that's too big. I can scale them down. 3, 4. That's good size. Oh, this is. Oh, I'm sorry. This is stock Kerbal. I tried making RSS once, and it didn't work. So we're gonna make. Yeah, it's really easy in stock KSP. I'm sorry. I have done so. I do like Soma. Soma's great. Really dark ending, but hey, that's possible. Why do I have so many? Why do I have these tanks? I never use them. Where's the tanks? The tank I used.
I can never find the tanks I want to use. It's up here, isn't it? Well, yeah, that's... Well, yeah, with surveillance, yeah, that's kind of the big use. Yeah. Because I know the original von Braun space station, the crew's use primarily was for replacing vacuum tubes. And by the time by the time they were going to be using manned orbiting laboratories, that didn't need those. Where's Aerospike? Okay, this will be an SSTO, I think. I think I made this into SSTO once. We'll give some fins because stabilization is important. But I don't want to put people on. I don't want to make Starship. That's hard. I'm good at Kerbal, but not for anything that can land. We'll put those on. Zoom out. This is an SSTO, I think. Sorry, I'm Starship on. Oh, it's about the same amount of engines, I guess. I'm gonna name this one Steve. Yeah, Energia was cool. It's a shame it was never pursued. I mean, they didn't have the money to make it work, but Oh, I gotta let the payload fairing not destroy itself. Ejection force there. Ah, staging. No. Oh gosh. This is so weird doing it live and when people are watching me. Oh, for the parking space station thing? There were plans to use the shuttle external tank that way. I'm gonna make this fairing normal looking. You'd have to modify the external tank a bit though to make it all work. Ooh, that's exciting. It says here my chat rate is 4. Why do I have a text? Is that my realtor? Give me 1 second, folks. Sorry for interruption. All right, sorry about that. I had to harass someone on the internet. But can you still see me? Oh gosh. Well, with competition. Okay, you can see me. That's good. There's a little live thing blocking. Okay, let's launch this candle. Let's see. Oh yeah, I should probably yeah, that's probably helpful. Oh, and I'm sorry I'm saturated this way. The screen's really bright. Okay, oh gosh, oh, no, that was intentional, folks. I was doing that on purpose. I think I need a bigger tank. We'll see. Of course, the one thing that Kerbal has over conventional launch systems is deep throttling capabilities. We're going really fast. Whoa. Oh, I've heard about that. The Don and Jens, yeah, the big Russian booster. Oh crap, lost control. I've heard about that. Vaguely. I haven't been following space news as much. as one would hope. I have a big rocket collection in the back, and I made them all myself, except for the Lego one. That one was a kit, and the Saturn V, obviously. The rest I made myself. We should be over here. Ah! We're going really fast. Throttle down a little bit. Oh gosh. Why is my pocket vibrating? Oh, that's why. Eee. Oh, well. Well, okay, here's the thing though. I am really lazy though. That's the thing. I don't go as in depth as I want to because I'm late. I'm not going to make it to orbit. Yeah, we're not going to make it. This is a really fast dart now. This is. Well, we're just gonna burn out of propellant and watch this. Yes, I did hear about the Rocket Lab second stage. It's disappointing, but it seems like they've been having issues with it. More efficient? Well, it depends on your payload. Wait, I might make it to orbit, never mind. Nope, I'm not. It depends on the mission you're doing, because for something like geostationary launches, you're getting a lot of energy, and landing on a barge would be way more efficient use of the propellant. I might make it to orbit, but if you want to do something like sorry, this is weird. I'm sorry. I'm so used to playing Kerbal and listening to something I'm watching. Simple rockets. I've heard of that, but I don't. I'm gonna make it to orbit, I think. I don't do those. No, go for Russian-style liquid boosters or Block 2, more advanced SRBs. There's a contingent in Utah that is very interested in enhanced solid rocket motors. They're also simpler to integrate with SLS because you got to think about it this way. If you have liquid boosters, they're going to have turbo pumps, and those are going to be vibrating, and those might interact with the rest of the stage. You have to do a lot of structural analysis for it. So it'll most likely be SRBs, but liquid boosters could be. We might actually make it to orbit. Yeah, but it is a really fast dart. Look at this go. Whee! Oh, I turned off SAS because I'm dumb. Whee! Well, we'll see if we can make it to orbit. Why are you doing this? Oh, at least one of the control systems got some oscillations built into it. Okay, so we did make it to orbit. Oh, that was fast. We're in orbit. Let's go to normal, and so we can dump our fun payload. 3 or 4 boosters. You'd have to rebuild the first stage and the launch platform. I think you'd have to rebuild the launch platform for it too. You'd have to, yeah. You'd probably go with 4. It depends on how you. If you did them 4 around, it'd probably be a nightmare. If you clustered them weirdly, like Energia, you might make it work. But the big problem would just be, you'd have to rebuild the thrust structure, and you'd have to rebuild the mobile launch platform, which that's a cool billion, no matter what you do. Bye-bye. Oh, what? You just fell off. What kind of stupid payload are you? Oh, let's just get all the solar panels out. Feel free to hit the booster while you're on your way out. No, I insist. Let's see. Engine tech, should the US produce in the next 10 years? Well, it depends. You could probably build a better hydrolox engines. Those RS-68s are pretty nice. It just kind of depends on what the market needs. Let's extend these antennas and watch it tumble. And we'll deorbit this because we don't want to make debris. That's right, Steve. Tumble. Oh, message retracted. That's sad. Bye, satellite. Suborbital boost, second stage by another reasonable suborbital stage. Oh, okay. Oh gosh, there's so many things coming in. So intercepting another stage is, I guess you could do that if you're insane enough. It's probably a bit technically complicated. $10 billion funding for HLS. I heard about that. I haven't been following this as much. I've been house hunting. But if it has to go, so Blue Origin has the more technically. Oh gosh, I'd have to read the source selection statement again because I know Dynetics was too heavy, so you'd have to figure out a way to lose mass. Blue Origin had one that is interesting, but they need to develop the tech first. Liquid hydrogen's a jerk. Lunar Gateway. So Lunar Gateway is cool. It's a great way of testing human influence in spacecraft systems beyond Earth's magnetosphere. That's pretty much the best use for it. It's also a great way to get pretty pictures of the moon. It's a great staging area, easily accessible. Mars missions. Do we need so many rocket companies? Well, we need a launch market that needs them. We need more, what's the phrase? We need more payloads. The launch market's oversaturated as is. Where's this thing going? We'll watch this thing burn up. Yeah, the Blue Origin lander looks the most like any of the others. It's out of power, so it's going to crash. Yeah, Blue Origin is the most interesting looking one. Their use of liquid hydrogen is definitely something that's going to be interesting to see them develop, especially for cryogenic storage, because some idiot that looks like me was working on that for a while. So, I'll just burn up. Have you seen the SpaceX FAA submission? I heard about that. It'll be neat to see. And the window is from, I think, June till December, so that's fun. So it's plenty of time for them to do their thing. Oh gosh, I burped. We're all gonna die now. It's interesting to see what kind of stable positions these end up in. Oh, there it goes. Whee! I'm not good at this, I'm sorry. Oh, that's open. Why is this open? I want to see my neighbors. Into the drink we go. That's right, Steve, you're gonna go in the drink. I did for between 2017 and 2018. September to, when did we abandon liquid hydrogen? March 2018? Worked on that for a while. Oh, whoa, we can recover something? It's reusable, guys. Oh gosh. Okay, we're not. Let's build a bigger SSTO. No, I don't want to revert to anything. Let's go to the Space Center. Look at that, we're going back. Okay, so we're going to build another SSTO. It's going to be a bigger one. Well, we'll see how that turns out. Let's make a new rock. Oh, not open. Let's gonna build sequentially larger SSTOs. That's what's gonna happen, and then we're gonna dunk on Angry Astronaut and G1 and Sebastian. That's what we're gonna do. Let's build a payload fairing. Let's build the. Oh gosh. Oh, come on, build. I'm supposed to. There we go. This is now based off the Japanese H-2 launch vehicle. Yeah, it's close enough. 3, that's good enough. I don't know how to make Skylon. Aerodynamics is the work of the devil. Aerodynamics is something that I've. Exotic rocket fuels. Ooh, pretty long green flume. Oh, that's easy. That would be. Oh, what is it? It's pentaborane with. What was the oxidizer? Oh, I used to know what the oxidizer was. Yeah, it was called the Green Demon for a reason. Well, okay. Near future, next few months. Oh gosh. Every orange rocket. Sure, you can. Will not meet 26. Yeah, I don't know about this. It's not. I don't have real scale. I'm sorry, folks. I tried making it work once, but what's that? Starship and Super. My prediction? That's going to complete development and then to launch Starlink. And then everyone's going to go, oh my gosh, it revolutionized everything. And then everyone will point out, no, it didn't. It's launching its own payloads. There's no market for super heavy lift, especially to LEO. Let's build this. Oh, go on here. I'm doing these for aesthetic reasons, by the way, because, look, I've gotten so good at Kerbal that I accidentally make SSTOs. What kind of spacecraft should we build now? I know it's easy. I'll see if I can do for realism overhaul at some point. Well, we'll build one that looks like an old Boeing 306 bus. I think it's a 306. Will you, where's the tanks? And we'll put a big dish on top. Ooh, dishes. Oh gosh, gotta make this aesthetically pleasing. There, that's aesthetically pleasing. No, it's not. I'll just put this. I'll put this here. Oh, of course, the eco rocket will revolutionize the space industry. Steam rockets are the way of the future. Just ask Isambard Kingdom Brunel, Esquire. How much does this satellite weigh? 1.424. Oh, don't click away. once. This satellite weighs 10 tons. We can put 10 tons. There might be some private space stations in the future, but the problem is they're not going to be that staffed. Where are my favorite tanks? Let's go with it. No, this is too small. Let's go with this. None of those, because they all clip out and be weird. And we'll put on, what engine? Let's make an SSME. That'll make this easy. Shut up, face of sarcasm. No one likes you. Oh, and by the way, just so we're clear, face of sarcasm's okay because he's my brother. I can bully him. An alternate moon rocket, not Saturn V, N1-esque. Well, there was the Comet design from about 1988. It was it's called Comet. It was a weird looking thing. Then pretty much everything else is an SDLV, a shuttle derived vehicle, because NASA was pretty intent on that. Then of course you got the UR-700, which is a nightmare. Where's the SSME? There you are. Oh, don't do that. Let's get the gimbal limit because I don't want this thing flying around. Yeah, we're fine with the shroud. I think this might work as an SSTO. We shall name this one Jethro. Oh gosh, the Arca rocket doesn't, that's funny. The Arca rocket doesn't make it. Okay. We'll launch Jethro, then I'll build you one that looks like one of the like the Phoenix designs, or one of those, or rotary rocket. Not the helicopter though, because I can't. Oh, the Chinese say they'll copy any design. They were going to copy the Kistler K1 back in the day. They also wanted to copy Jerry Bull's Babylon gun at one point. So whenever they say they're going to copy a design, it's just them messing with everyone. Let's make sure I don't blow this thing up. There we go. There we go. Let's fly, Jethro. Okay. Yeah, Kerbin's Delta V to Leo is like 3 kilometers a second. Oh no, you're supposed to go up. Oh, this might not make it. It might be too heavy. Oh no. Well, let's keel over. Let's go. The Sierra Nevada Space Station. I'm not sure what they want. Oh god, space tourism. I hate space tourism. I don't hate it. Okay, space tourism is one of those things that everyone says will make spaceflight cheap, but it won't. You want to build stuff in space? You want to go build stuff. But yeah, methane's amazing. It smells great. Wait, no, actually that doesn't. That's oh, what is it called? I'm just rambling now, reading what I see here. Oh, wait, I might actually make it to orbit, never mind. I do like real plume. I was the king of NASA? What would I like to do? Oh gosh. Well, I'd take that $10 billion and squirt it into SLS production so we can get 2 a year. and then we'd be able to just recreate Constellation, because that's what I think NASA wanted to do with Artemis. Because if you look at SLS Block 1B's payload capacity to the moon, it's 45 metric tons. And if you look at the old the Altair design, that was 45.8 metric tons. The Comet rocket, I don't know, it looked like a Saturn. It had strap-on boosters, it had a Saturn-like second stage. What will make spaceflight cheap? The Comet design is kind of weird looking, but what will make spaceflight cheap? I have a bias towards big dumb boosters. See, reusability is all nice and dandy, but what makes things even better to reuse? Less moving parts. Pressure-fed engines have 3-ish. Oh, we didn't. Just to get back on what makes spaceflight cheap is a reason to go in there more. The biggest problem with spaceflight right now is that no one really needs it, and the launch market just isn't growing. If it weren't like for SpaceX, if it weren't for Starlink, SpaceX would have launched 1 commercial flight this year. I'm gonna make it to orbit in this too. Am I just this good at Kerbal? No. Yeah, if we didn't have Earth's atmosphere, we could build space guns. Better space guns. Oh, no, throttle up. Let's throttle up. I'm not gonna, this is a lawn dart. Also, by my, yeah, this is the reason I write scripts, by the way. My incoherent rambling makes it not good. I've heard about Lofstrom loops. I don't think so. I think the development costs would make that a bit of an issue. Because the problem is, it's not about, because one of the problems everyone looks at spaceflight with is, oh, just build a cheap rocket, then everyone will fly. And then everyone realizes, oh wait, I can't afford satellites. The problem is you need, rockets are like half the problem, payloads are the other half. We're not going to orbit. Oh, let's watch the payload fairing tear this apart. You're supposed to tear it apart. What the heck? Oh, let's just tumble this thing. Let's watch this tumble as the engine fails. Whee! It is true, space tourism is a great way of impressing your friends. Oh, that's gonna be out of fuel soon. There we go. And bye-bye, payload. Take that, insurance company. I don't think so. The problem with asteroid mining is, why? I have not met Tori Bruno. I've driven by the ULA rocket factory down here, though. So the problem with space mining is that what would you mine? Because right, I have a piece of the Sudan, from next to the Sudan Mine National Park, that's iron ore, but it's slag, and that has greater resource density than parts of the moon. So if you can mine the moon better, you can mine Earth better. And we recycle a lot of our materials. What would make asteroid mining work is if you were going for rare earths, and somehow we stopped mining rare earths down here. So those people thinking this are people like, I don't want to be mean. That's what I said about rare earths. But yeah, the thing about, yeah, there are people who think that, about that. I think every astronaut, we're not here to point fingers and say mean things to people, except Angry Astronaut and Jishuan Sebastian after I build another SSTO. I'm going to build a real one Well, then the problem is we crash the precious metal industry. Then mining it from asteroids doesn't make sense. Possibly. I'm not an economist. Any comments on today's electron failure? I saw a bit of the video. That was pretty neat. But yeah, they seem to have problems with their second stage. Vibranium asteroid comes close. Actually, I think that would be harder to reach because of relative velocities and launch windows. Well, we can't do a landing on this. I ran out of propellant because I'm dumb. So we can't land this on a barge or imitate the first flight of SNB, whatever. Come on, let's go to the ocean. I want to make another SSTO before we dunk on G1 and Sebastian. No, why are you doing this? Oh, yeah, tumble. There. I'm really bad at this. Come on, there we go. Let's go to Space Center. Okay, we'll go. Thank you. Oh, this thing's struggling. Well, being post-scarcity would be fun, but it's not going to happen. Is it frozen? Space Center. Well, some rockets are worth more than their payload mass in gold. It depends on. Let's build a real SSTO like Phoenix or not Percheron. That was a big booster. Okay, new. Rockets are to expand knife. Oh my God, they're gonna knife me. Great. Let's see. Let's build 5 meters. What was the one I built last time before the thing? Rockets can be cheaper. You can make them really cheap, but the payloads are always expensive. So let's build. Where's the payload? I'm gonna burp. This isn't good. This is very unprofessional. Okay. Sorry about that. Unless that's your fetish, then you're welcome. Come on, no, you're supposed to come. There we go. Okay. What am I doing? Close. What am I doing? Why am I so dumb? Where? Oh, I was supposed to use that. I was going to use that. Never mind. Gosh, I'm dumb. There we go. Oh, no, you're supposed to be. Why? 2.5. No, 2.5. There we go. Oh, this is hideous. Oh, God. The design, they're going to mass production now? Oh, jeez. Yeah, the people who think that really need to read or do anything, get a life or something like that. Is space manufacturing an economical prospect? Industrial process ever done on Earth? So there could be. I haven't been following this stuff as much as I should, but there are a few things that might work. It's just, the thing is, if you want to do anything in space, you got to make something that's going to take maybe less than 20 years to pay off. That's the big problem, because everything else pays off in terms of generations, which a lot of investors aren't really interested in. Let's make this let's make this the nose cone, because that looks just cute. No, what size is that then? So we're gonna make. Oh no. Why are you shouting, Mr. Pete Channel needs 900 subbies? Don't shout. Shouting's bad for your health. Now let's go to the shroud. Nope. No shrouds. Organ, yeah. Right. Or organs as in the instrument too. Okay, so let's open this payload bay doors. Of course, we're imagining this as imaginary structural components here for this. We're to imagine that. We're just going to imagine one. Okay, let's add a coupler. I've made one SSTO already. I've tried to make another one, it didn't work. We're building another one. And then we're going to dunk on Angry Astronaut and G1 and Sebastian. Once this works, we'll do that because me doing this is boring. We're going to watch something and be mean. I mean, mean with air quotes. Oh gosh, let's build another spacecraft. Let's build something that looks like the HS-702 bus. Let's make it bigger. Yeah! No, not that big. Yeah, that's big enough. Give you little maneuvering engines. That's gonna be two maneuvering engines. Sorry, I'm detailed when I build my spacecraft. I actually... Oh. That's neat. That's neat to make spreadsheets. Oh crap, I gotta share my SSTO spreadsheets. I said I was gonna do that like 3 weeks ago. Oh no. I think this might need structural support. Let's get higher up. We'll see. Let's build spacecraft. And this is, again, all these are aesthetic. It's a shame Kerbal doesn't have more satellite buses, but we're not doing contract because I'd suck at that. Put some batteries on it because we're not going to use it, as we all know. And get some big solar arrays. Where are the big solar arrays? Where's the one I like? Oh, come on. There we go. Put two of you on. Oh, this will be magnificent. I'm going to put some satellite dishes. Where are the ones I like? There's the ones I like. There. And there. Oh gosh. Hypothetical launching SSTO from the Andes and the equator would be the best launch site for an SSTO. If you're going for if you're going for something, it depends on where you want to launch from. If you want to launch something to a polar orbit, but in Alaska. Ability. It's funnier. Well, I don't watch Everyday Astronaut anymore, so probably G1 and Sebastian, just because they're annoying. Not going to do asteroid. Yeah, so if you want to do asteroid mining, it's if you can't mine on Earth for some reason, or you have a massively expansionist space program. Dragon asteroid construction site. Yeah, you could. Oh, that's a bit mean. Well, the thing with small asteroids though, they're more like a pile of rubble though. That's the problem with making them to a space station. It's one issue. Let's see how these dishes interfere with. Oh yes, they would. Over here. Sorry, we're building an aesthetic spacecraft now because that's what my life is. We'll put this in because that's gonna make it look realistic. That's realistic. We've built. Congratulations, we built a spacecraft. Now let's connect the tanks. This is so aesthetically pleasing. Where is the fuel line? Please don't. Oh, good. Thank God. I don't want to. Oh, we gotta begin the normal tank. Never mind. You in there. Aesthetics. Oh, does this even close? Oh, we'll know. We'll know when it takes off. Let's see if this can make it to orbit. Give it a heat shield. Give it a heat shield. No, that's not the right kind. Give it a heat shield. Strip off most of its ablator because I suck at this. Wait, spin it up. Well, because G1's from Taiwan, and Asian languages aren't conducive to English, more European, and then Sebastian's Croatian, I think. The biggest realistic rocket concept I've heard of, that would be the Boeing MLLV, Convair Nexus, or Sea Dragon. It depends on which one you make. How many things will turn his Russian rocket engines video? I don't know. The thing with Russian engines is just they're so hard to figure out because the Russians are crazy. So Sea Dragon is Sea Dragon's realistic if you get a test program for it to work. Okay, let's put 4 SSMEs on for fun, profit, and not dying. Let's turn on the gimbling because these things love gimbling. Put that, I'm gonna move up in for aesthetic purposes, of course. Go back on there. The other thing with Sea Dragon is if you read the studies, they make some really charitable assumptions with costs, like not including the aircraft carrier. What's the weirdest space-related idea that you've considered? Like for a video? Well, I mean, there's the I don't know. I don't know what. So the Russians are crazy on their engine development, where we would, like in the U.S., we'd study engines, we might test fire 1 or 2. The Russians would go, hey, does this propellant work? I don't know, let's go build an engine. Okay, so let's put it on launch platforms because landing legs probably, gotta put landing legs on it because I want to see if we can land this. This will be fun. By fun I mean grueling because it's me doing this and I suck at Kerbal. What a big engine on the sea. Wait, what'd I say? This is 20 minutes behind me. Not 20 minutes, 20 seconds. What about the big engine on Sea? I'm assuming Sea Dragon. Yeah, combustion stability would be an issue. It's 80 million pounds of thrust. Why is my phone vibrating? Well, I'll talk to her later. Let's see if this works. We're gonna name this one Cletus. Let's see, we have a payload, just to make sure I have everything on here. We have a payload that should have its engine start. We're an imaginary structure to hold this all up. We have that, we have these. Let's put some air brakes on it for fun, because I know I'm gonna need them. Not that way, not that way. Yeah, Sea Dragon is, so let's get you up here. Wait, no, that's supposed to be the... Okay, let's see if we can get to orbit on this. Full, okay. Oh yeah, I'm dumb. We did a successful static fire. Yeah. Oh gosh, don't struggle. That's better. And lift up. Oh, that's going. Okay. This might work as an SSTO. Yeah, I noticed. on the staging thing. So you can kind of see how slow everything is for me. Or, not slow, but... Oh, gosh. Yeah, Black Branch is probably the most successful Canadian aerospace project ever. Oh, gosh. This is a really high thrust. I didn't need... Oh, don't tumble over. Don't tumble over. Oh, we might not make it to orbit. Oh, this thing's struggling. No, no, no. It's gonna turn over. It's gonna flip over. No. Ah. Need more gimbal. Well, let's see if it can land in the water. I'm gonna change the gimbaling to something higher. Well, let's do a water line. Let's get these out. Let's just see if these work. And it's not even slowing down. Metal. NP-33s, they might be used again. They're nice engines. It's just... You know what's funny about Starship's flip maneuver, by the way? It's not new or original. If you look at some of the old, the McDonnell Douglas X-33 proposal, it does the same thing. Let's do a good, nice sea landing. Or close. For a 5 million pound rocket, you could do Mars mission. We're just gonna skip across back to the... Oh no, we're too far away. Okay, we're gonna launch this again. Vehicle assembly. It's gonna be lousy. Yeah, again, the problem with building a big rocket is if people actually need it. So let's get more gimbal. Let's do that. Let's see if it can fly better. All right. Why do you use the phrase subbies? That's just it's never seen that before. Oh, and the 5 million pounds, like the million pound payloads was meant for launching Mars missions in one launch. Okay, fly. Oh, it's supposed to go. That stays wrong. Yeah, Venture Star getting canceled was pretty sad. So the more vertical, more faster. That's way better control. How much saving pounds made out of lithium or carbon fiber? Oh, okay. I think. This is going really fast. Oh, we're going, yeah, we might make it. We'll probably make it to orbit on this thing. I see. Oh, we're going to atmospheric effects. Nope, we're going to turn over again. Ah, I'm too steep, too fast again. really fast. I see. Oh gosh. We're probably not going to make it to orbit on this. We're not going to make it to orbit. How long am I planning to stream for? Well, I think we should switch over to, if this doesn't make it, I'm going to dunk on G1 and Sebastian's videos. So I'm seeing this for an hour and 10 minutes. So oh God. Yeah, this is not going to work. Would all of you be fine if I switched over to dunk on Angry Astronaut and G1 and Sebastian, like their Mars colonization series? Say yes if you do. Oh, I might make it to orbit. Oh! Okay, so if this doesn't make it to orbit, we'll just, orbit or not, we'll stop after this one. Okay. And sleeping is healthy for you. The last time I stayed up all night was several years ago. And we did not make it to orbit. We almost did. No, we didn't. Oh, well, let's give this a Viking funeral. Oh, let's dump the payload, so the insurance company won't sue us. Goodbye. I forgot to put RCS on it. Nope, not you. Go away. Shoo. Flip away, yes! Good. Take that, payload. Cool. So we'll do that. We'll give this a Viking funeral, and then... Okay. Bye-bye now. Bye, payloads. Yep, so let's go dunk this in the ocean, then we'll be fine. Go away. Well, the problem is it takes me time to practice these things. And this is, so I'm gonna get my headphones ready again. Ready to screw up my audio. I'll wait for this to burn up. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yep. Oh, are we to land it? Aha, take that, civilians. Your property prices are going down now. Eee, and there. Why'd you go back to this? Buy into this. Start from the first rocket where we're trying to skip the machine that builds the machine development? It might be. Okay, let's escape from this. Let's escape from New York. Yeah, the thing about the Chinese space program is they have to launch inland, because if they launched on their coasts, their neighbors, Japan, would, nuke them or something. It would be really bad for them. Okay, so back. So I'm gonna stop display capture. Oh gosh, that's bright. I'm gonna get YouTube up. I'm gonna fix my sound. We're supposed to plug in. Okay. Nope, that's headphones. Why am I still hearing Kerbal? Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, so we've got this. I'll go full screen or theater mode, I guess. I'll turn on closed captions because oh, they're auto-generated. This will be fun. Oh God, I know he made one about Everest because he doesn't know anything. I mean, it is easier to live on Mars because Mount Everest is kind of small. You can only hold so many people on it. Ooh. All right, so. Okay, so I've got the video up. I've got the fair use rocket over here, in case they get mad at me. That's not an SSTO. That's a 3-stage orbital rocket right there. Oh, we'll just start this. Oh, tell me how the sound is when we get to that point. Also, this is stolen footage. Speed this up.
When this moment finally arrives, when the Starship is ready to carry human beings to the Red Planet and carry them there to stay, not just for a short-term expedition, I think I can safely say that human history will never be the same.
That is correct. People dying in stupid ways will evolve.
Given that as of this recording, we have yet to even land a Starship without a spectacular explosion, this moment seems impossibly far off. But if Elon Musk gets his way, we're less than a decade away from this happening, from not only going to Mars, but beginning a human colony there, a lifeboat for the human species, and to make ourselves into a multi-planet civilization. A greater endeavor has never been attempted, not even.
That's true. I haven't think of anything as dumb as Mars colonization yet. Sorry about the desktop sound. Next time I do this, I'll fix the sound. It worked once.
Close. But it's easy to say that we're going to establish a self-sustaining colony on Mars, a colony that's capable of surviving on its own, 1 million people. It's easy to say things like that. Quite enough.
That it is. And people like you keep falling for it.
To actually do it. And perhaps the greatest challenge is going to be finding the people, the right kind of people, who are willing to make such a supreme sacrifice, to leave the beauty and magnificence of our planet behind and go to a desolate planet that is not friendly to human life. But
I mean, weird people. Why are we talking about this? Oh, okay.
What sorts of humans are going to be willing to make this sacrifice? Is courage
it's going to be religious weirdos. The first people who came to America to settle We're religious weirdos.
Going to be the most important asset, or is it going to be scientific curiosity or education or just the sheer desire for adventure? Well, I think it's going to be a combination of all of these things and something a little extra besides, something that I like to call the Martian way, in the greatest respect and memory to Isaac Asimov, a unique way of thinking and living that's going to apply to the people who decide to go to this desolate world, desolate but beautiful at the same time, magnificently and uniquely alien, and these people are going to be fundamentally different from any other humans that they leave behind on Earth. So how are they going to be different, and how are they going to be attracted to go to this place? And most importantly, what sort of legacy are they going to leave for the human species?
Their legacy will be as kind of graves, will be compost for any life that survives.
If they are successful. We're going to find all of that out in this special 4-part series that I'm doing in conjunction with To the Future. So get ready for a very special event on The Angry Astronaut.
I don't care.
Special episode of The Angry Astronaut.
Sorry.
This one is especially exceptional.
I need my sunglasses.
Well, probably lots of better ways.
Give me 1 second. I need my sunglasses. We have to be cool here. I need my sunglasses. Oh, we're cool now. Everyone put on your sunglasses.
Ways to put that, but this is because I am doing another collaboration with the folks at To the Future, the people who, quite frankly, were responsible for getting my channel to where it is.
You're
At a
boring.
time when I had less than 1,000
I don't
subs,
care.
ultimately becomes independent as well of the nations that helped to form it.
I don't
was all
care.
that goes to Mars to come back simply because of the gravity issues. Living in 1/3 gravity is going to take a toll on the human body, which, although you might be fine for the long term on Mars or asteroids or wherever else you want to explore throughout the solar system, returning to Earth may become an impossibility. And so therefore,
Citation needed. We don't know.
or quoting, I think, or paraphrasing a series that I'm very fond of, sort of a drama-mentary series. Mars has to be the most important thing in your life. If there's family, if there's career, if there's anything else on Earth that quite legitimately holds any more importance to you
Jesus
than
Christ,
Mars does,
Germany.
then you don't go. It's as simple as that, because you're leaving all of that behind. You walk out the door and you never turn back if you decide that there's something on Earth that's more important than Mars. What an unbelievable commitment. What sorts of people are going to make that kind of commitment? And are the sorts of people that are willing to commit to that sort of thing, are they the kind of people that a colony is going to need? Well,
No. It's Silicon Valley weirdos who, I mean, I guess they don't like going outside, so I guess that might be the thing.
going to explore all of that, explore how you attract people to Mars, what sorts of people are going to be needed, and what sort of people are likely to go. And we're going to do all of that, part 1 of this 4-part series, right now.
It took you
Now, there's a school
8.5
of thought that says that
minutes.
The first group of colonists who go to Mars should be as small of a group as possible, simply because of the incredible amount of danger involved and the bad press and the tragedy that would result if we lost this group of people. So perhaps half a dozen or a dozen colonists, but in my opinion, this is a flawed philosophy, because we need to have redundancy in personnel just as you need redundancy in equipment. And if you don't have that, you're setting yourself up for failure. Perhaps the most crucial area where you need redundancy is in the medical profession. You're going to need at least 2 doctors.
How many people do you want to put on Mars? I calculated this, by the way. 15 people is about what Starship can take for a round-trip Mars Direct Mars mission. 15. For a one-way trip to Mars, a 200-day transfer, 20.
On the first expedition, and you probably won't have the luxury of having specialists. These will need to be general practitioners, ER docs, something along those lines, and it will also be important for them to be cross-trained in psychotherapy, some sort of psychiatric training on top of their medical training, because the mental well-being of the colonists obviously is going to be just as important as their physical well-being. On top of this, it must be remembered that a lot of equipment is going to have arrived on cargo starships before the colonists even arrive in the first place, and this
You know, it would help if there was an actual plan to base this off of. Oh, excuse me again. The problem with all this kind of stuff is they're just speculating. Musk's Mars plans are just a lazy rehash of Mars Direct and nothing more. This is dumb. Stop making things up and substantiate them.
will include things like rovers, habitats, in-situ resource production plants, all sorts of things that are going to require a lot of technical maintenance. Now, of course, we can rely on robots to some degree to take care of all of this stuff, but for the most part, we're going to need highly technical, highly trained individuals who are also career astronauts, since a lot of their work is going to be taking place on the Martian surface, where it's pretty much just as dangerous as the vacuum of space in order to maintain all of this equipment. I would say a minimum of 4 of these types of people should also be included in the first group, so we're
Oh, God.
up to 6 colonists already.
Jesus
and then we've got
Christ.
geology, the importance of which cannot be overstated. This is not just for
It's called having like a Swiss Army knife of like technical capabilities. Everyone will have first aid capabilities. Everyone will have nursing capabilities. Everyone will be a geologist to some degree. This is what we did for Apollo. Come on, man.
for scientific use. It's also for finding the necessary raw materials in the Martian surface for us to be able to survive. Obviously, there isn't going to be huge amounts of ice where our colony is located, because things like the Korolev crater that you're looking at right now are located too close to the poles, too cold for a practical colony. So you're going to need other locations.
Too cold for a practical colony? It's called Mars. It's cold. Do you not know anything about Mars? Oh, that would make a lot of sense. What is everyone saying in the chat? Oh, they're talking about arguing about legs? I'm not showing my legs, by the way. We're not doing that till 10,000 subs. Oh. Okay, we'll keep going.
Ice is not quite so readily available, and geologists who are capable of sniffing it out in large quantities, and also the other sorts of materials that are going to be necessary. Things like volcanic basalt to make basaltic fiber, which is perhaps one of the best building materials that we could use on Mars. And of course, once you've found water ice, you're also going to need to find people who know how to use that water to make things grow, regardless of what other components might be in the water.
Okay, so where's the weed? That'll keep the Martian colonists from revolting. And what's going to launch all this? Where's this coming in on? Which starship is this coming in on? Give me a plan, guys.
At the time, so you're going to need a couple of very good botanists, preferably botanists who have a lot of experience in using either hydroponics or, my personal preference, aquaponics, which uses a rotating system of fish and plants in order to produce very high quality produce, plus you get fish on top of that. A system like this could definitely support at least a small colony to begin with, and you use it as a building block to more ambitious projects in the future, at least until we learn how to cleanse the Martian soil and fertilize it and start using it for our agriculture.
Well, for fertilizing, it's called dead people. You pick the fat guy in your team that you don't like, throw him in the Matterist, the supercritical water oxidizer, toss him out there and pee on his grave. We're mean. Well, no, 10k subs is when I do this in a hot tub.
Cultural purposes as well. Now, one type of colonist that I think gets overlooked are people with survival specialty skills.
Guys, you're trained in survival skills if you're going to be an astronaut. This has been training since Mercury. In the Mercury... the Atlas Negative Archive at the San Diego Air and Space Museum, there's images of Mercury astronauts doing survival training. My God. Can't smoke weed. No one's going to be happy there. Yeah, O'Neill cylinders are better.
In other words, people who know how to survive in the desert or in other environments that don't have a lot of raw materials to offer. Obviously, Mars is far more forbidding than any desert on Earth, but still, people who have the knowledge and the capability to survive off a minimal amount of raw materials, and also the psychological fortitude to survive.
See, this guy's running from his friend, who's way over here. He's gonna kill him and eat him.
Extreme isolation and extreme conditions would be very useful, so 2 more of these people as well. And just as important will be exobiologists, because I don't care what anybody has to say. The findings of the Viking landers, on top of all of the discoveries that we've made since then, strongly suggest the presence of bacterial and viral life on the surface of Mars, and it could potentially be dangerous to human life. And even if it isn't, discovering a new form of life on another planet would be invaluable scientific information to send back to Earth, and a source of support for the new colony. And then, of course, once you've discovered in situ resources like volcanic basalt, as I mentioned before, and basaltic fiber, then you need people who know how to use these resources in order to build new structures and new pieces of equipment that are
It's called... You just learn other... I don't care. I don't care anymore. This one's boring. The other one's better.
Some of these things they're going to know about beforehand and are going to have been constructed by robot before the colony begins.
What's this?
The needs of the colony change.
Whose is
or
this?
Discover new needs for the colony as
Did you
time goes
cite
on.
this?
Then these engineers are going to become increasingly important. And we're talking material engineers, construction engineers, at the very least.
Oh God, civil engineers. No one will go to Mars. If there's going to be civil engineers there? Oh gosh. Oh, okay, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of... 2,000 skills. Oh, geez.
2, and quite possibly more for a beginning colony, if it's going to be successful. And then, of course, with a new small colony, you're not exactly going...
There's a hole in my hand. I'm going to die.
To have democratic elections, you're going to need a mission commander and a mission first officer. And these are people that could have other specialties, but nevertheless, you're going to need these separate positions. Because if you lost a commander who is also one of your engineers, then you would lose 2 parts of your very important colonial structure, which would be unacceptable. So you're going to need these 2 people at the very least in order to provide a command structure. And by the way, I love this picture of a astronaut stumbling across the remnants of our old Pathfinder missions. The rovers were so tiny back then. And then the final category, which is really going to be the unsung heroes of the colony, are going to be the support staff. Now, this is the sort of thing...
Hey, bruh. Were we supposed to smoke the weed in our suits? Like, can we see the stars if there isn't Starlink? I've never, yeah, okay. We'll
NASA
keep
missions in
going.
the past have not had. But the reason for that is because they have the luxury of a huge staff of support personnel back in Houston. Martian colonists are not going to have the same thing. So you're going to need backup personnel to essentially help all of the colonists with whatever tasks they may have. These folks are going to have basic training. They're going to know how to do EVAs. They'll need to have
Why is Buzz Lightyear on Mars?
some training and education in practically everything that the colony does in order to be able to provide support. And how many of these are we going to need? I would say 4 to 6 at minimum in order for the colony to run smoothly.
How many people is this? I think we've gotten past 15. You've got like 200 people on your first mission, bud. And you know what? They're all going to be hot bunking in this little habitat there. And something tells me this guy's thinking about murdering him with the rock pick. Because he farts a lot.
So you don't have highly specialized people doing basic tasks. So just to get a basic colony going on Mars is going to require, in my opinion, 22 to 24 colonists. And
Starship can't hold that. On its own, at least.
those numbers are going to increase radically as the colony increases in size. You're going to need new specialties, like miners, for example, that sort of thing.
Wait. Okay. Look, I get space libertarians and their penchant for arguing about age of consent laws, but I think this might... Oh, wait, no. That kind of miner. Never mind, everybody. We're safe.
And how are you going to attract people to come to this sort of environment? This
Offer them donuts and hoodwink them. I listened to this old science fiction radio show where this guy uncovers a signal from the moon and it's captured scientists there. This is from the 50s. And of course, by discovering the signal, he becomes one of the next slaves for this colony. I think it was an X-1 or Dimension X episode about this. That's how you do it. You kidnap them. What? Yes, to the native life on Mars. Guess what my next video is about?
desolate place that's going to have no return if you stay there for too long. But one of the first things, as you can see here, is to give these people a decent place to live. I like this particular design from Yates because of all of the natural lighting and the spaciousness. In an environment where you're going to be cooped up indoors, this sort of pleasant environment is going to be an absolute essential. Any environment where we've done experiments here on Earth with people isolated for hundreds of days at a time, even with people who have passed very thorough psychiatric analyses, have ended up with serious problems by the end of it. And look at this front porch kind of concept.
But where are the kids to shout at with my cane? Get off my lawn, you damn Martian kids. And they'll just kind of hop away.
Giving the illusion of being able to go outside on a planet where you clearly can't without a spacesuit. A very beautiful place indeed. And here's another essential. Location, location, location. And I have talked about establishing a colony in the Valles Marineris until I am blue in the face. But I think that it's very important that we establish our first colony in a place like this, where colonists wake up in the morning to unbelievable sights. Canyon walls that are 8,000 meters high. Something that you simply couldn't see on Earth. And not only could you have the adventure of exploring a place like this, could you imagine zip
dying there? Zip lining. Starship Planetary Protection. Ha! Planetary Protection? I think you mean Maoism. I forgot he said ziplining was his argument. I forgot about that. Oh gosh.
Lining down from cliffs that are nearly the height of Mount Everest? If that could even be possible, I think that would be a mind-blowing experience that could really draw colonists to this planet. And for those colonists fortunate enough to take a quick journey down to the southern hemisphere, you would have Raid Crater, and that large black area is not a false color photograph. That's actually basaltic sand, and it is black. Huge black sand dunes that are up to 200 meters high, and it has been proposed that somebody could surf down the side of those dunes on some sort of...
So ziplining and surfing, something you can never do on Earth. I have actually, what is ziplining anyway? We should Google that right now. What are we looking at?
Of highly polished board or perhaps dry ice. How do you do this in a spacesuit without tearing the suit and killing yourself? Well, with a new type of spacesuit, of course, that some of you may have seen in a recent video of mine about something called a biosuit that uses a technology called mechanical counterpressure to deal with the huge pressure differences that exist on Mars. If you have something like this, not only is it a lot easier to maneuver around, but if you receive a breach in your spacesuit, the mechanical counterpressure technology allows you to quickly
run for safety.
To dash off to save your life. And I mean, hell, even just the act of jumping on Mars is entirely different, as you can see in this UAE children's video. Imagine the kind of basketball that you could play on Mars, among many...
You can do all this on Earth, and it costs hundreds of millions of dollars less. What's this? Nuking might kill the native life, though.
the other things. Now, am I saying all of this because I'd like Mars colonists to be a bunch of space tourists? Hardly. The point is that going to Mars and becoming a colonist doesn't have to be an exercise in extreme discomfort or agony or isolation. It can be an amazing adventure.
Of extreme discomfort and agony, or whatever he said.
Like anything the human species has ever embarked on before. And that's the kind of thing that's going to attract colonists in the future, and that's what's going to get them to stay. Or at least, that's what I choose to believe.
No, I got these weird memories implanted in my head. That's what happened. You know, I'm a spy for Cohagen.
So before I go any further, some of you may be wondering or have observed, hey, this guy has new models on his table, and yes, indeed, I do, from Spaceship Mania. This is a new version of the Starship, which was shipped to me yesterday.
No ads.
At least not in my opinion. Okay, enough of that. So really, I want to emphasize one more
time
just how important it's going to be when we establish a colony or colonies on Mars, that we choose the location very, very carefully. If we choose a location based on, convenience or based on practical reasons alone.
Yes, let's be impractical in our base selection for settling. I'm sorry. Don't judge people by their appearances. I'm sorry. Don't judge people by their appearances, but I'm sorry. I gotta chuckle a little bit here. What, are people getting mad at the spacesuit now? Okay.
Well, there's a lot of ice there, or it's very flat, so it's going to be easy to land spacecraft, that kind of thing. I think we're going to be cutting our own throats when it comes to the psychiatric well-being of the colonists. They're going to Mars to go on the greatest adventure in the history of the human species, going to another world, an alien world, with amazing sights and places, which I described during the course of the part of the episode anyway, that are just unlike anything we have here on Earth. Amazing sights, and we don't want the colony to be thousands of kilometers away from these sorts of locations. We don't want it in the middle, at least in my opinion, in the middle of, say, the Amazonas Planitia, where you're thousands of kilometers away from Olympus Mons, and even further away from some of the most magnificent sights on Mars.
I don't care, though. Sure, we'd like to pick somewhere aesthetically pleasing, but, I mean, if you're sending geologists, they'll be fine anywhere. There's rocks. They love those. They lick them. Yes, it is the angry astronaut, which is funny because he has yet to show any emotion in any of his videos.
That's why I've advocated so strongly for the Valles Marineris, but there are many other sites which I've described as well. And living on the surface is also going to be of premium importance, in my opinion. Living in a cave, you may as well live on a cave on Earth if you're talking about surviving. There are many deep caves here on this planet where our species might be able to survive some sort of cataclysm. I think living on the surface and waking up every day to a magnificent sight, perhaps in the Valles Marineris.
The magnificent sight of rocks. You know, if I open my window, I see my neighbor's house. That's made of rocks.
Of cliffs that are as high as Mount Everest, literally that high or nearly so in many parts of the canyon, or just some of the other sites that I've described. I think all of that is going to be very key. Just have the opportunity to go outside at regular EVAs, those sorts of things, which means we're going to need better spacesuits, suits that allow us to wander, and explore.
And who's going to make these spacesuits? Angered person.
The Martian environment, the landscape around us, all of the magnificent and truly alien things about Mars that we find to be so fascinating. Places that we haven't dared even send a rover yet because of the difficulty of landing there. But from what I've been seeing from the Starship lately, this seems to be a ship that if it can land with an immense amount of precision.
This is to be demonstrated, folks. And yes, visit, settle, no. Especially, well, China's suddenly becoming Nazi. I hate to tell you about the Uyghurs, but...
Incredible precision. So as long as you have a flat surface that's a few football fields across, from what I've seen so far, that's probably a pretty good option as far as landing pads are concerned. So maybe we don't have to be so cautious in where we establish our colony.
Yeah. Read what happened to Jamestown, buddy. They practiced cannibalism. And buddy, you look like compost. We're not judging by appearances.
Maybe instead, we need to think about where, as a human being, we would want to live, rather than where it's the most practical to live. And by the way, there are plenty of things that are practical about these locations as well. The Valles Marineris, as I've mentioned many times, is an equatorial feature. And on the equator, it's a lot warmer, and so life support is going to be a lot easier. And there are also many indications of water ice being present there. And that's just one of many locations. So I'm harping on about this, but I think it's very important. If you're making this commitment, making the decision to go to another planet for the rest of your life, then I would think that you want to go to the best locations, or one of them anyway, one of the best locations on the planet that the planet has to offer. There are many options, but when we choose our colony, we really need to keep these locations in mind, or at least have the colony in close proximity if we want happy colonists. Because sure, people can survive in caves, in mines, on submarines, that sort of thing.
Okay, First of all, surviving in submarines, it takes a special kind of weirdo to do that, as I've learned. And I could have been one of them.
For long stretches of time, but they do it with the knowledge that eventually they're going to go home.
Hey, that's an interesting psychological point. That's a weird notion.
Mars, this is going to be home. How much different would it be for a submariner if their submarine was home and they knew they had nowhere else to go?
Actually, if you read up on Soviet submarine design, if I remember correctly, like the Typhoon, the Hunt for Red October, that had a sauna in it. It had like a little place to relax. They built them with the idea that nuclear war was going to happen and the crews would spend a lot of time on them. It helped if they didn't keep sinking.
That would take a much greater toll, and it's something we have to keep in mind. In any event, enough talking about that. Part 2 of this series is coming out next week from To the Future, so keep watching that.
Oh yeah,
on it. It's coming
let's
up
watch
very
that.
Soon. And if you want to support my channel, well, there are ways of doing it, as you can see here from Spaceship Mania and other ways that are listed in the description. So until we have the capability of establishing a colony on Mars, and we are making these very, very important selections as to who's going to go and how to get them there, I urge all of you to stay angry. Up.
Stay angry about space. I don't care. Jesus Christ, this guy's boring. Okay, let's do G1 and Sebastian because they're way funnier. Okay, to the future. No, not Thunderfoot. We're not. Oh. Okay. 1 second, we're gonna find their video.
It is happening.
I don't care. Where is this? Hyperloop on Mars. Kill me first. Where is this? I used to know where this was. Is the one where they talk about, can Mars declare independence peacefully? There we go.
Mars in the future.
There we go. We still have the fair use rocket. That's good. Oh God, please. Well, okay, so if you're confused, the Russian name for what we call Typhoon is Akula. The NATO Akula was something else. Please stop talking about what America has done. We're not gonna. I didn't want to invite that in. I'm sorry. Please don't. This isn't a political stream. Oh, okay. This is gonna be a political stream. Let's go to 1.5 because they actually speak at normal speeds. Okay. Mars in the future. Oh wait.
Sure. What will happen after Mars has been colonized? Oh, sorry. We meant set.
Just by the way, colonialism has a, yeah, it doesn't mean shark. By the way, folks, it's okay to acknowledge that colonialism has a bad history to it. My next video will actually talk about this a bit, but it's a bad word for a reason. Read King Leopold's Ghost. King Leopold is one of history's greatest mass murderers. So, yeah.
Settled. Because colonizing is a bad word now. So after the first settlement.
And by the way, last time I checked, that woman was arguing with like a Nazi. Oh God. Yeah, I think, the Akula was the one that was made of titanium, and it could outrun our torpedoes for about a year, which scared everybody. Yeah, my submarine knowledge is about 3 years old, so, okay, let's get back to Mars.
Have been established on Mars. What would happen afterwards?
How would a Mars government look? And then later on, would Mars at some point maybe even become independent from Earth?
This is the reason I didn't want to cover this series, by the way, because this is just science fiction. How do I talk about this?
And would this lead to a conflict with Earth like in The Expanse? Well, let's try to find out.
Emphasis on try. Oh, oh, okay.
Welcome to the second part of the Martian Way series, our collaboration with the Angry Astronaut. In the first video, the Angry Astronaut explained what kind of skill sets the first...
Oh, arguing about China. China's a hot button issue and I prefer not to talk about it.
Mars settlers would need to have, where best to establish the first Mars bases, and what would motivate people to even move to Mars. The link to that video is of course...
Yeah, that video didn't talk about it at all, by the way. The Angry Astronaut said, "Yeah, just send some people to Mars. They'll zip line and surf. What's that about jobs, a stable economy, and a reason to do this?" Nothing. No, I like sci-fi. Sci-fi is fun. But the problem is, there's a difference between reality and science fiction. My problem is when they start talking about science fiction as if it's going to happen. Don't. It's a great example for us to explore ideas, but
in the description below, and please also go to Angry Astronaut's channel and
No.
subscribe to him, because his channel is really excellent and he makes a lot of high quality videos on all kinds of space topics.
hey,
This
wait.
is our second collaboration with him, where now we imagine the future.
Is it a hyperloop? That's a hyperloop. Kill me. At least they credit the artists that they use.
Of humans living on Mars. And the Angry Astronaut will release part 3 of this series next week.
So then after the first humans have landed on Mars, after we have established the first small bases, after these bases have then grown larger,
That was
what
close.
would happen then? Would there at some point be a Mars government? And would Mars even at some point declare independence from Earth? Please keep in mind that these are just our thoughts.
Okay, see, that's a bit of an oxymoron there, so we know you don't think. Oh, this is really rude. I'm sorry, but I get them confused. Alpha was the one that could outrun our torpedoes for about a year. That was the titanium hull one. It'd be a lot easier to make a vacuum on Mars.
And predictions are always hard, especially when they concern the future. So this could turn out to be totally wrong, and in 100 years, people will laugh about the totally wrong predictions we make in this video. Anyways, to get some clues as to what might possibly happen, we have to do a bit of history.
That's irony there, considering you've just dismissed colonialism. Don't look at me that way, Sebastian. My hair is better.
Nice, finally a bit of history time. Around 814 BC, the Phoenicians, a powerful seafaring people in the Mediterranean of that time, established a small colony in North Africa. Their hometown of Tyre was more than 2,000 kilometers away, situated on the coast of present-day Lebanon. It didn't take long until the small city was growing in power and influence. Already 100 years after having been established, the colony had become a prosperous city. And another half-century later, the city then declared independence from its mother nation.
I don't
The name
care.
of the city was Carthage, and it came to establish a powerful empire that lasted for 500 years, and then even at one point challenged the might of Rome.
In 1607, the Virginia County of London established a small colony called James Fort,
Uh,
May 4th. Oh wow,
guys.
James Fort was with them. So
Guys, we skipped a bit. What happened between Carthage and Jamestown? What are we even doing? So this is history for people who don't know anything about history. And look at these little descriptions. It's long. This is dumb. And besides, there were people in North America before the Europeans arrived. Aliens. Mars will probably be run by corporations. I'd hope not to, but yeah, probably. Oh yeah, the Chinese space program's neat, but it's just... It gets some people heightened emotions and things. I'm not going to restart my... later. Don't restart. But again, why we skip... Again, there's cannibalism at Jamestown, and they used the natives for their own...
So anyways, this was the first successful colony of the British Empire in North America, and after
Successful is a bit of a loose term. It stayed.
abandonment in 1610, it grew larger afterwards and served as the colonial capital from 1616 until 1699. More settlements were established, and as we know now, it should take over 100 years until 1733, when the last of the 13 colonies of North America had been established.
Yeah, again, but what is this? This is Earth, though. Guess what's not on Earth? Mars. These, oh gosh. That is true. The natives were killing each other. I mean, we're not gonna say noble savage here, but the natives were there first. Okay, yeah,
From then, it would take another 43 years until independence.
Wait, New York didn't look like that though. They look. We're not talking about
From
that's
Great Britain,
whatever.
declared, with Britain finally
There
recognizing
we
the
go.
independence of the newly established United States of America in 1783.
So why this long history talk? We thought this was a space channel, damn it. Well,
Well, it's because you don't know anything. I stopped saying these things. Yes, we are talking about colonizers to an extent.
because this is a highly speculative topic, and unfortunately we only have the
Is that a
past
video
history
game?
predictions about the future. That's why it's absolutely necessary to look at the history of past colonies in order to anticipate the possible future history of the Mars colonies.
Yeah, gotta remember though, they had slaves. All these people had slaves. What the fuck's going on? We are dunking on G-Schwannen's Bastion. I mean, no, volcanoes require geologic activity, which there actually might be some. That is true about China and their space program. Again, their space program's fine. I prefer if they didn't land their boosters on villages. But yeah. But yeah, back to this. Again, Scrolls, he's checking something out. I dig the togas. We should go back to togas. That'd be awesome. Oh, okay.
The world and technology is vastly different now from back in the days of the North American colonies.
Congratulations.
It's more different than from the days of the Phoenicians, but the roots haven't changed so much. The human brain is still the same. And the
What?
reasons why colonies become independent are also still the same. Namely,
What? What?
the colonists feeling more and more detached from where they came as the generations pass. The first generation of colony inhabitants might still feel a strong connection to their homeland, but the second generation
What?
has already grown up.
What are they watching on Mars? They could be ziplining. See, he wants to zipline. And she wants to open that. Why is there a handle there? Who designed this place? What are we talking about now?
Not having even once set foot on the nation or empire by which their colony had been established. This still applies in our time. And the travel back then in order to cross the Atlantic Ocean is somewhat comparable to traveling to Mars.
Okay, here's the thing though. I read this, and I've only read this in one book, is The Republic of Pirates. But, yeah, they just lose crew all the time. Again, like Magellan's trip around the world, they left with like 5 ships and like 500 people. They came back with 1 ship and 19 people, none of which were Magellan. Historical analogies don't work, but they do.
Many people crammed into small ships that cross a vast distance. So
That had air.
making these connections between past colonies and future colonies on Mars is actually not so far-fetched.
It is, though. It's good for small, isolated things, but for like the grand scheme of it, I mean, they did have indentured servitude back then, too. I mean, Elon's bringing that back.
And please subscribe to our channel, because as you can see, we
Oh, okay. No.
also like to cram in an unnecessary large amount of history into our space
History is a bit of a loose term here.
videos. Well, we guess we just love history too much.
No, you
So
don't.
thank you so much in advance. So now,
No.
moving forward to the year 2050, the year Elon Musk himself often says to be the year when he wants 1 million people to live on Mars.
By the way, I did some math. I was going to talk about this. I started doing math to get 1 million people on Mars by 2050. I did it for 10,050 people. And I ended up with 1.04 launches per person. This included cargo starships and tanker starships. And ticket prices cost somewhere around $93 million. Now, I was being conservative in my launch cost estimates, which is a bit misleading, but still, it's just, it needs so many launches to make this work. It's just not feasible in any realistic way. Why are we so afraid to lose crew in the 21st century? Well, because it's called public support. We kill a crew. If we kill a crew, the public's not... When Virgin Galactic had their crash like 80 years ago, people are calling for the end of space travel. We tolerate losses in the way that we accept that they will happen, but we don't think they should be good. Right? I don't want to die in a stupid way. I want to die in an amazing way.
We personally think that this target is extremely difficult to meet, and we say that even 10% of that population by 2050 would be an amazing achievement.
And cost $3 trillion. I did the math. Wait. Okay. If my... Oh, and by the way, sorry about my sound. My voice. I screwed this up. Yeah, 29 people, that's neat. 10% of 1 million is what? 100,000? Yeah, not feasible.
But I think that we can all agree that at some point in the 21st century, we will have at least one, but more likely a few bases on Mars, and these bases will at some point evolve into cities.
Not really. Mars belongs to the Martians.
More and more people will arrive from Earth in hopefully not...
You touched the VG ship. You caused it to crash, you monster. You cursed it. Sorry. But, that's cool. I got to see the SLS second stage, so I didn't touch that. They just shot me.
The latter will offer artificial gravity by means of centrifugal rotation.
Again, this is speculation. Musk's Mars plans aren't real.
And also better radiation protection than the first generation starships. The Orbital Assembly Corporation, for example, aims to build a gravity ring demonstrator.
That's fake. I was in a video about that.
And later a large rotating space station called Voyager.
As the
Bye.
cities on Mars grow, what will happen is that at some point they will manage to become less and less dependent on imported goods from Earth. In situ resource utilization on Mars will grow in importance.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's smart. What are these things? Drones. Great. Some more kids take... Wait, are people in those drones? That's amazing. And massively unsafe.
So that at some point almost all of the industrial products can be built directly in Mars factories, using resources mined directly on Mars. All important metal ores that can be found on Earth can also...
Yeah, but it costs 10 times as much to ship them back.
to be found on Mars. The colonists will use advanced 3D printing in order to build new cities, be it domed cities or habitat structures covered by Martian regolith, or be it even mixed underground and overground cities, with some parts above ground and other parts in underground.
What's he running from? Quick, gotta get lunch! No, don't take my lunch, Steve! Well, that's cool. Leonov's a cool dude. Shame he died, but, you know, he's really old.
Lava tubes, or maybe in canyon walls, as this really cool concept here suggests. At some point, the Martians will start building everything which they need from their own Martian resources. It will also be only a matter of time until all the plants will be grown locally on Mars and
I'm making plants here. Bob gets to use the cool spider robot. I'm gonna fart on him in his sleep. How many slaves would it take to build a Martian colony? Oh yeah, the first human missions. The first human missions to Mars will be government sponsored. We might see Starship used in some of the assembly of the vehicle. That's possible, but and the perchlorates are a bit of a showstopper. But you can just like wash them off apparently.
large greenhouses. All important plants will be grown locally. Kimball Musk's hydroponic farms.
Kimball Musk is a loser. He stole from his company. I hate to sound like a comrade here, but come on.
Already show us today what this future of growing food on Mars could look like. We will very likely not have livestock on Mars as often.
Okay, I really know what this is. This looks like a hotel lobby, but I know it's not. Yeah, it is a bummer to see the heroes go. Because Michael Collins died a few weeks ago, and that's sad.
Obviously, this would be quite impractical, but meat or meat replacement products will be grown locally in labs from animal stem cells.
At some point, the Martian cities will have become so large that they will need a governing body. At first, the small Mars bases will most likely be either directly or indirectly under command of Earth.
Well, yeah, that's because there'll be missions. They'll talk to Houston and make jokes to each other.
As the bases grow larger, the need for a governing body of sorts will become apparent.
Antarctica! That's it. National Science Foundation, those guys. It's going to be Antarctic-style bases, folks. That's the realistic assumption here. Well, yeah, for assembly.
Elon himself said that he imagines Mars will be
Elon does not believe in democracy. I'm sorry, folks. People like him do not believe in that. I'm speculating myself, but I don't think he believes in democracy. I mean, he associates himself with like Peter Thiel and a bunch of other weirdos. They don't believe in democracy. They believe in monarchies. With Elon as king, which I think these guys want Elon to be king anyway, so I don't know.
a direct democracy where everyone will be able to vote directly on important political decisions. Quite likely this will happen via a decentralized voting platform based on the blockchain. This means
blockchain. Take a drink, everybody. Oh, with war, we'll get to the war thing. I'm taking a drink because I brought up blockchain and I want to die.
Since the need for political representatives will be strongly reduced, albeit we imagine that ultimately Earth will still have an important say in many things for a long time.
You want your natural resources of life? Listen to us.
Later in the 21st century then, we would find more and more true Martians living in the cities of Mars. These will be people.
Who's she tweeting? She's tweeting to somebody or texting someone. Also, why is she so fat? She must not be working enough in the mines. We gotta get that turbinium.
Who will have been born on Mars, people who will never have visited Earth. They would need some enhancements, like an exoskeleton, to even be able to walk on Earth. To these people, naturally, Earth would just be a distant thing, and they would find less and less tolerance of political will from Earth being imposed.
Is that Elon? First of all, Elon would be up in the shiny tower. Come on. And why is it built like this? Why is it pointy? I don't know. Mars is red, everybody. Yeah, so Elon's watching from his place as they're depressurizing the airlock because it's a communist revolution.
Onto their lives. Why should a planet onto which they have never set foot upon dictate important decisions of their lives? And even more, maybe they won't even be able to actually travel to Earth because the high gravity field of Earth might actually make it impossible, since they would only be used to the 0.38 days of Mars. So a growing number of people on Mars would feel more and more detached from Earth.
The difference is Carthage had air. I mean, you could bake air out of the Martian rocks, but kids on Mars could probably go to perform. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh god, not Chad Elon Musk.
Same way the Phoenician city of Carthage at some point decided to become independent from their homeland, and the same way the North American colonies at one point decided that they don't want to adhere to laws imposed upon them by the British.
Is that true though? Yeah, that's where that works. There's a bunch of things that made Americas do this.
The same way Martians could become increasingly unwilling to accept political decisions imposed upon them by Earth, but contrary to the War of Independence in North America.
Yeah, age of consent laws. I'm sorry, we're talking about space libertarians here. It's age of consent laws. Darn you! Oh, this is horrible. I shouldn't be this mean.
And contrary to the expense, we don't think that there will be a revolutionary war. It will just be a gradual transition, and soon it will be understood that both Earth and Mars will profit from it.
That's possible.
Independent Mars.
See, the sphere of influence with which we used to identify ourselves has just historically continued to grow. In the Stone Age, we identified with the tribe. Then we started building cities, and we started identifying with the city. Then the cities formed kingdoms or empires, and we started identifying with kingdoms or empires. Today we are still kind of stuck on that level because we identify with countries, which are just basically an upgraded version of a kingdom or empire. But actually, you know what? Forget it. It's really the same thing. So it is only logical to assume that next we will start identifying with planets or moons.
Also, you can see the line when they edited. I'm a Martian, and first and foremost, yeah, that again, this is possible, but this is something like 1,000 years from now. What are people saying? Yeah, they would, but their bone structure might not be adapted to that. Oh, with space elevators on Mars, you just oscillate it. You could do that. Just make it wiggle, and you could time the cars going up and down to do it.
Far future, the inhabitants of Mars might say, I'm a Martian, first and foremost, before then maybe identifying with their city or area on Mars. When more and more colonies will be established throughout the solar system, we might have Callistoans.
Oh good, you picked the one Jovian moon that you could live on without dying. Oh, the rendering? It's the Boeing double bubble big dumb booster design.
Even Titanoans, Titans, Titaneers, people living on Titan, however they will be called.
We will call them Steve.
Although Titans, of course, sounds the coolest.
The moon would probably remain tied to Earth, just because it's so near to the home planet. If humanity would have many independent
Where's this?
acting governments tied to their respective planets or moons, then trade between those worlds would benefit everyone. It might be that some goods can...
What would they trade? What would they trade? Anime? Ugh. You're just saying things. Come up with real things first, folks. You could do that with the centrifuge on Earth, but it's possible.
Can be produced more easily in the lower gravity of Mars. And
like what? What could you produce more easily? Oh gosh. Yeah, so, yeah,
Be
okay.
highly sought after on Earth, or vice versa. In any case, trade will probably ensure that the independence of Mars won't become an armed conflict.
Actually, it could be. Because Earth would be supplying this with people, probably some materials that aren't on Earth. It's potassium or phosphorus. It's one of those two that isn't as abundant. I think Mars might have a lot of it, but I don't remember.
Conflict, or at least that's what we hope for.
And then further on, might we even have different humanities? Might
Oh, good. Oh God. Put some clothes on, people. This is a G-rated channel.
humans on Mars evolve into a new species, the Homo martiensis, a new species of humans.
We're talking like at earliest 3,000 years. That's how long it took the Tibetans to. The Tibetans have short. I mean, they're still human, of course. I'm not saying they're not, but. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, but like that evolution would take hundreds of thousands of years.
Slender and tall, adapted to the 0.38 G of Mars, a species that would not be able to live in the, from their perspective, unbearably high gravity field of Earth.
I
And
don't
the humans on
care.
other planets or moons as well? Well, this is more interesting food for thought, and the angry astronaut will actually talk about this in the third video of our series, The Martian Way. So be sure to check out his channel frequently because he will release this video next week. As always, we'd like to first thank all the people that help us with our channel in one or the other way. These are Zabel Chiare, Michael Root, Jake.
I don't care. Yeah, I think Mars is resource poor. Don't look at me that way. What's the... what? Stop. No, don't recommend me metal. Let's find their other video, the one with the Hyperloop, and then we'll... I think we'll call it quits. I'm getting tired. Hyperloop on Mars.
So now that we talked about
We'll do that, and then we'll give it up. It's true we have not dug too deep into Mars, but we can map it. Oh, the problem with a helium-3 infusion is that we have to make fusion work first. Hey, someone just said that. We'll do this and then we'll give up, and I'll call it quits for the night.
the first colonists on Mars, the independence of Mars, and how future Martians might evolve.
I don't
It's
care.
time to speculate about the far future. How would a Martian economy look, for example, in the year 2100?
It'll look like Antarctica, where no one lives there. Oh, good night, I guess.
What could Mars manufacture and export? And what kind of machinery and technology would Martians need in order to accomplish that? This could get interesting, so stay tuned.
Hey, you got better lighting. His hair is different. Don't look at me that way.
Welcome to the fourth and also last part of our collaboration with the Angry Astronaut. In the first video, the Angry Astronaut talked about the first colonists on Mars
He talked about zip lines.
and what skill sets they would need to have in order to build up the first successful colony. In the second video, we talked about how Mars could become independent from Earth at some point. In the third video, Angry Astronaut talked about how future Martians would evolve and if they could maybe become a new race of humans. Of course, the links to all these videos will be in the description below. And please
I don't
visit
care.
Angry Astronaut's channel and subscribe to him because he makes really excellent and entertaining videos on all space-related topics.
Green one what? Green one wasn't cancelled. Sort of.
And of course, he's just as outspoken and non-PC as us. Okay, so
These people, by the way, I've commented on their videos being charitable, saying, hey, this might be a bit weird, and they delete comments that disagree with them. I mean, look at the comments on their video calling everyone who disagrees with Musk a neo-Luddite. Just saying.
in today's video, we'd like to speculate about how the Martian economy might evolve in the future. And by that, we mean in the far future.
As we've established in the first 3 videos of the collaboration, Mars would at first be dependent from Earth and would thus not yet have its own economy. Okay, so the
Oh, that's safe. That's really safe.
first settlers will arrive on Mars hopefully around 2030, depending of course on how fast SpaceX will be able to get Starship flying reliably. And those settlers will start building up the first base camps. Even more ideally, autonomous robots will have already built the first base camp even before the first
Ants.
settlers arrive. These bases will be quite small in the beginning. A few habitat shelters, probably covered by Martian regolith.
I saw this one once.
protective in order to protect against solar and cosmic rays, as for example
I know they do.
by the companies Hassel and EOC. Here, expandable habitat modules are being surrounded by a 3D printed regolith dome-like structure, which filters out almost all of the solar and the largest part of the highly energetic cosmic radiation. Therefore, the argument that Martian settlers will have to endure large amounts of radiation is a false argument. This argument is mostly thrown around by opponents of human settlement of the solar system and by...
Wait, what? Are they talking about... Oh, I missed this. I was looking at chat. I gotta get back to this. Oh, the radiation problem. Yeah, stop lying about it. You get 20 times the dosage that airline pilots get.
False argument. This argument is mostly thrown around by opponents of human settlement of the solar system and by uninformed media outlets.
Ah, of course, the media. The Lügenpresse. I just did that, didn't I?
This would only be the case if the Martian colonists would spend 24/7 outside of the habitat in their spacesuits, which actually percentage-wise would not be the case very often. Probably a maximum of 5 to 10% of the time would be spent in...
Kill me. Yeah, just, no. Also, the reason he's leaning on it is because it's sliced open his back, and he's keeping it there because he will die if he moves.
Extravehicular activities. The surface radiation of Mars is around 230 millisieverts per year, and the lifetime safety limit is 1 sievert. The radiation in the habitat is negligible, so the settlers would reach the lifetime dosage limit probably earliest after around 40 years, depending on how much time they spend outside of the base. Anyways, so as Starship travel to Mars becomes more common and more base camps are being established, the first...
Your Starship's limited to every 26 months. It's never going to be common. That's the biggest problem with going to Mars.
cities will start growing.
And please subscribe to our channel, because we not only make space videos regularly, but also videos on all other disruptive technologies. However,
No, you don't. You talk about Elon, and what Elon thinks is smart.
the YouTube algorithm really doesn't like it when we cover so many different topics. So your support really helps a lot, and thanks so much in advance. The first city on Mars will probably start as an agglomeration of a few base camps, or
Sure.
a single larger base camp. How this city will exactly look is anyone's guess. It could be a large dome structure, which would be beneficial for the psychological well-being because of sunlight, and of course energetically, because the sun would warm up the structure like a giant greenhouse.
Okay.
Also, you could build an open city like
Why, though? Who's going to live in this? Look at the Kowloon walled city. My god.
here on Earth, with regular streets, buildings, and gardens. And you would also find large open spaces like in the cities on Earth. But of course, the downside is the vulnerability towards meteorite impacts. Or the first city on Mars could be built into canyon walls. You know, kind of like Venus River from Puerto Rico, which was also built.
Don't shut up. You guys think Cohagen's right. Shut up. This is Elon Musk. This guy's way more handsome though.
Built into canyon walls. But hopefully this will be the only similarity with Puerto Rico. Of course, we could also go for the safe route and build large underground cities in the huge lava tubes and caves on Mars. This would be the safest option, but obviously might not be ideal from a psychological perspective. No matter what form the first Mars city will have, we can be quite sure that once a city forms, it will not remain the only city. Multiple cities will be forming in the second half of the 21st century. Again, of course...
What? No. Stop saying this. This is nonsense. No. I've done the math. It just requires thousands of launches.
Under the premise that SpaceX's Mars colonization plans will go more or less as planned. And we should always remember that delays will happen.
And because Musk's Mars plans are just a lazy rehash of Mars Direct and him screeching, "Make life multiplanetary!"
We can call ourselves extremely lucky if we have the first city on Mars by the year 2050.
We'll be lucky if it gets there 2150.
And then, towards the end of the 21st century, we might already see a few cities on Mars, and they will be connected by an interplanetary hyperloop.
Wait, what? Interplanetary... Just dig tunnels to Mars, folks. That's... Yeah, we'll just dig tunnels to Mars. Joked about this once. Oh, God.
Network. The coolest thing is that on Mars, you basically get free hyperloops. All you have to do is to dig underground.
Why would you dig underground? Just do this on Mars. Just, you don't need to do why are you digging underground? And that's a sewer tunnel digging machine.
Tunnels, and they're already almost evacuated. Isn't that awesome? Whereas on Earth, hyperloops will have to be evacuated using...
Now, yeah, they do. And they're gonna leak a lot, too. Wait, what's this? Oh yeah, for this SpaceX Mars colonization plans, you can pretty much dismiss them, and yeah, I think the problem is Elon fires anyone who tells him no. So,
Lots of vacuum pumps. On Mars, the atmospheric density being only 0.6% that of Earth, the energy demand will be a lot lower.
Again, it's called a train. Why do you hate trains so much? They're called trains. They go choo-choo.
Since you won't need those vacuum pumps. Also, since the temperature on Mars is a lot lower than on Earth, it might be possible to employ next-generation high-temperature superconductors to have frictionless...
I don't know anything about superconductors and their temperatures, so don't
magnetic high-speed hyperloop travel. That is high temperature in the sense of temperatures where nitrogen is liquid, so minus 196 degrees Celsius or 77 kelvins and above. This would employ the Meissner-Oxenfeld effect of superconductivity, which would make the hyperloop twins magnetically float in the hyperloop tunnels almost completely frictionless, therefore consuming very little energy. How convenient then that metal ores on Mars include niobium, a metal used in producing superconductors and specialty steels, lanthanum and neodymium, and europium for monitors and energy-efficient.
Good. We'll move to Mars and turn it into the Congo. Brilliant. History, kids. What? The High Frontier? I might talk about it in the future. I have a copy of the book. I'm more supportive of that than I am of Mars colonization.
LED lights.
Moreover, magnesium, aluminium, titanium, of course iron, and chromium are relatively common on Mars. In addition, lithium, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, tungsten, and even gold have been found in trace amounts. It is quite likely that in some places, these materials are concentrated enough to be mined economically. Mars has a giant advantage compared to Earth. Because of the much lower gravity, that is only 38% of Earth's, the future Martians could build a space elevator much more easily than would be the case on Earth. So once ore mining would be established on a planet-wide basis, and factories...
Okay, Yin, you're turning Mars into the Congo. You don't actually care about Mars. And what could be mined on Mars more cheaply than on Earth?
would process these ores, the future Martians might start building a space elevator at some point. Because of the lower gravity, but similar rotation period as Earth, the material strain would be a lot lower than in the case of Earth. We therefore wouldn't need carbon nanotubes to build a Mars space elevator, but steel wiring or Kevlar wiring will suffice.
Depends on the safety factors.
This would open up super cheap access to orbit for Martians, and therefore Mars could establish...
Again, but the problem is, you're talking about 1,000 years from now. What is Mars economy is going to be, what's the Martian economy going to be based off of?
A very strong export-oriented economy. Every surplus mineral that would be discovered and be abundant on Mars, but rare on Earth, such as some of the aforementioned rare Earth minerals, might be exported to Earth using the space elevator, and whatever type of spacecraft will be used by then to ferry cargo and people between Earth and Mars, possibly large cyclers with nuclear thermal propulsion. In any...
Science fiction, kids. Well, yeah, now we have to amputate feet, too.
In any case, Mars could establish a strong export-oriented economy. Even more so because Mars has another giant advantage compared to Earth. It is much nearer to the asteroid belt.
Yeah, here's the thing though. You know what's easier to reach in the It's easier to go from Earth to the asteroid belt than it is to go from Earth to Mars. Why though? Why would you go to Mars? Why? Just go to the asteroid belt. It's easier. These people are dumb. Yes.
Therefore, once asteroid mining is more common, asteroids from the belt could be redirected towards Mars and mined in Mars orbit.
Oh, by the way, Deep Space Industries doesn't exist anymore. I don't think.
Factories would process the mined minerals, and thus orbital shipyards would be much easier to realize at Mars than at Earth.
Kill me. But again, what would these shipyards build? You guys keep saying things, but you're not saying why they would be built. These people don't understand how things happen. We built them because we need them. Not because we don't build them and assume they're needed. Look at the Great Eastern. Jeez. Oil on Mars would be neat, though.
So, Utopia Planitia shipyards, after all. You know, where the USS Enterprise D will be built in the year 2363. So, it very well might be that Star Trek is right in that regard.
Ah, yes. Star Trek. To the stars with slaves.
Meaning that Mars will have large orbital shipyards exactly because of that unique combination of low gravity, which enables a space elevator, and being near to the asteroid belt at the same time.
Again, why would you... Again, you're assuming that people would want to go to Mars.
Mars could therefore not only become a large exporter of some rare earth minerals, but also be the main shipbuilding force of the solar system. When humanity would have established other colonies in the outer solar system, these colonies might very well order their ships from Mars and not from Earth.
Why? Mars is a terrible place to get to. It's got terrible transfer times.
So will this lead inevitably to a giant conflict between Earth and Mars, now that we found that Mars might be able to build large spaceships fleets in the future?
Not so fast, because we shouldn't forget that Earth has the moon, and the moon with its vast resources and metals will also allow Earth to build quite massive ship fleets in lunar orbit. Ores harvested on the moon will be processed into ship parts, shot up into lunar orbit by a lunar railgun, and therefore the Earth...
Steve, get in the railgun, you're dying tonight. Actually, this one makes more sense. That's again, O'Neill talked about that. What am I hearing? Oh, that's my fridge.
Earth moon system will also have the capability to build large fleets, but we are pretty sure that most of these fleets will be unarmed, since in the future as well as now, trade will enable a lot more long-term growth.
Wait, unarmed? What do we build? What? I missed that.
War. Why fight unnecessary wars where you can trade and thus increase your wealth, while at the same time achieving a win-win scenario? In the current globalized world, you can already see a growing trend towards fighting economic wars instead of real wars in case of conflict. Have become more often the weapon of choice instead of the brute force approach. Humans are becoming more peaceful as time passes. This is a historical trend.
Oh, we can stop that though. Come on. Also, that ends at 2015, just saying. When does Syrian civil war start?
That has been happening since the Stone Age, and we assume that it will continue into the future. Therefore, we believe that a scenario as in the sci-fi series The Expanse is not very realistic. If in the future we still behave like such assholes as in...
Well, yeah, considering how you two act. Sorry, no offense. Wait, what? What are we talking about now? Oh, we're talking about... Oh, we're talking about Starship. That's true, but unarmed spacecraft, if you have an engine, you have a missile. Yeah, I read part of Moon is a Harsh Mistress, so that's fun.
In The Expanse, then honestly, we haven't deserved to survive as a species.
We're to talk about some... Oh, okay. Oh, so instead of talking about like global wars, they keep forgetting it's civil wars. Yeah, there's a bunch of civil wars going on, I know that. Isn't Colombia going through something right now? That'll be fun.
So we assume that the Earth-Moon system, Mars, and the other colonies of the solar system...
You're assuming a lot. And wait, did you dye your hair? Sebastian, embrace the gray. It's okay. I will when I turn 90 or whatever.
will be very interconnected. Today we are speaking of globalization, the phenomenon that the world is interconnected regarding trade, the flow of information, labor, culture, and...
What the heck? See, Earth's flat. Everyone, look. It's flat and it's hovering. Look at this. This is how they're faking the stars, too. They knew it. This is what they've been hiding from us. This is what the Earth looks like, really. It's flat.
And more. In the future, we might witness a solar systemization, where the large players in the solar system will...
Again, 10,000 years from now. Sure, but whatever.
...acting as autonomous entities with a very interconnected economy. So Mars, for example, might be the big ship and rare earth metal exporter of the solar system.
No, that'll be Mercury. Why not? We're being science fiction here. Is this... Wait. Some of these buildings look like they're from Halo. And yes, that's how outdated my video game... oh yeah, there's Israel-Palestine. Yep, there's that. Yeah.
Whereas the Earth might become the tourist attraction of the solar system.
No. No. Earth has air. That's where everyone's going to be for a long time.
Because for a very long time, we will have oceans, rivers, and forests only on Earth. Of course, when terraforming will happen, that might change. But
oh, good. Terraforming. How to say you don't know anything without saying it.
Will happen in the even further future.
So Mars will play a very important role in this interconnected solar system economy and might become the heavy industries exporter of the solar system. This in turn will mean a prospering Martian economy.
Again, Forerunner artifact. Is that the library? Is that where Guilty Spark is? Oh my gosh, we're the Forerunner. Oh god. Oh yeah, Ethiopia's got something going on too. That's great. That's great. Yeah. But again, this is... The Martian economy, mining economy, is predicated on Earth mining becoming somehow undoable. We all got dumb genes. From Neuralink, that's how Elon's gonna do it. He's gonna make us all stupid and incapable of mining, and then we'll all have to mine on Mars. That's how he's gonna do it.
So, if you want to
Stay angry.
In the far future, it will probably be a lot easier to achieve in the growing economy of Mars than in the saturated economy here on Earth.
Bye, Bombi.
People that help us with the channel. This is of course Zambo Chiare.
Oh, perfect. This is over anyway. Yeah, we'll. This is it, folks. I'm tired of doing this and I suck at it. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is a great pause screen. What's this screen have? Yeah. Well, I think this is where we'll call it quits tonight, folks. I think this is... Aside from my massive bungling of the audio at the beginning and being boring at Kerbal, I think dunking on these two is fun. Well, that's good, folks. All right. Well, have a good night, everybody, or morning for some of you. I'll be turning this off in about a minute. Let's make sure everyone gets their final say. Pressure-fed cosmonaut? Oh. When's the weird stuff in Kerbal? I don't know how to make weird stuff in Kerbal. The next one, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 1,000 subs. I don't know. Oh, Dear Moon? I don't care about Dear Moon. I don't know. I don't follow enough of this. It seems like it's a great way to fund Starship. Oh, so the next one, I don't know when the next one will be. The problem is I think I may have bought a house, so it'll be a while. I'm thinking maybe 1,000 subs, which will be in like 3 weeks apparently. I keep forgetting that this is 20 seconds behind. They're fine. Axiom Space is fine, but I gotta call this quits. So I'll go to my thing. We'll turn off the display capture. Alright, so I know about Axiom Space, don't worry, I follow them on Twitter. They seem a bit more promising than the others. Again, I just think anyone talking about commercial like space development's missing a lot of things. Okay, folks. Bye. Okay. Oh, okay. Have fun at your night shift. I worked the night shift once, 48 hours a week. Oh, I'm going to end it now, so... Bye-bye then. How do I end this? There we go.